I think that because those years existed, I now can cope with what's happening to me quite successfully, and I'm not easily tripped up. So, yes, it was like a period of long, intense self-development, and I'm glad it happened for those reasons. I don't think I'd be glad if I was still there now, but I'm not, so I'm chuckling.
Right. You've not done any videos at all.
No.
You're not even interested in doing just like some live footage and just touting that around?
No, we haven't done a thing. In America, the record company put a video together and released it, and naturally it's quite abhorrent and extremely bad taste, but it's nothing to do with us. We'll never do that kind of a glossy promotional video. Now, having said that, it would be nice to tread into film somewhat, but only in a very intellectual way, not in a commercial, not as a sales tool, not something quite artistic and quite intricate, really. I'd like to meddle with film somehow. Mess all the film up.
Right. Well, any particular ideas? Do you want it to
Yes,
be
I've got many.
A storyline with Morrissey playing the lead acting part?
Well, yes, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Not really. Yes, I do have a few ideas. I think to reel them off now would be quite pretentious, because I really firmly don't believe in talking about things until they're almost happening, because it's quite fatal, because if they don't happen, you're left to answer for a lot of bleak moments in your life. But I think video, yes, we've outlived that, I think.
Right, okay. Australia, are you ever likely to tour there? Is that part of your plan?
Oh, God, good grief, yes. Most definitely. The only problem really is actually getting there, because it's so far away. And as you might not know, I do have a fear of flying. I mean, it's almost embarrassing to utter those words. It sounds so absurd. I mean, I've tried to be hypnotized and silly things like that, and it really basically hasn't worked. But I'm trying to figure this one out, if I can go to perhaps Singapore and then on to Mauritius or somewhere, and then just land in Australia somehow. As you can see, it's still a very, very embryonic situation. I'm trying to work it out.
Right, how far ahead do you plan?
About 3 or 4 months, really, not terribly far.
So the Smiths Corporation doesn't sort of have your movements mapped out for the rest of
No, there
this
isn't
year?
a Smiths Corporation, which makes things easy and difficult, because it's really largely left down to Johnny and I. So it's just really finding time to sit down and say, well, what exactly should we do next? But there's certainly no corporation.
Right. Do you feel under pressure constantly?
Yes, I do. Constantly.
How do you cope with that?
I don't know. I mean, you just have to learn to deal with it, really. It can't really be conquered, I don't think, because like it or not, things are there to be done. And of course, these are the complaints that most people don't really like to hear about. But I can't deny that it's very, very difficult to keep on top of the situation. But I try.
What devices do you use to?
I unplug the telephone, I disconnect the bell on the front door, I close the curtains, and I just simply lie on the bed and listen to a Walkman or something.
Right.
You seem very bored with that reply.
No, that's fine. You don't sort of.
I expect these are the bits that get chopped.
Okay, well, why do interviews at all? I mean, surely you should. If you're going to take the line, you're not going to do much other promotional stuff.
Well, because I take that line, interviews are necessary, because without interviews we wouldn't have any sense of presence whatsoever, because we avoid so much television and radio and all other aspects of the media. If we don't actually do interviews, where on earth are we? Like the uninitiated working woman in the street doesn't really know that we exist.
Unless she hears it on the radio.
Well, exactly, yes, but radios are so rare these days. No, we have to do interviews, and I quite like them sometimes.
Right. Okay, what are you doing with all the money you're making?
Well, I'm trying to find it. That's what I'm doing with it. Next question.
Right, okay, that's...
Oh, do I have to elaborate? I'm certainly not rich by any means. I think I'm much poorer than other people of my status for unknown reasons.
Scott Peary.
Well, can you say that a bit louder? We're a little bit more we're poorer than most, I think. Why is it always so embarrassing talking about money?
I don't know, people just have this thing about not knowing what other people earn.
I wonder why, though. Can you answer that?
No, maybe they feel some jealousy, or they...
Oh, well, that's okay then. As long as it's that.
I don't know, can you answer it?
No, I can't answer that question. I don't really know. I mean, people are so guarded. I mean, people never talk about money. It's like when you first come into the music industry. You're never allowed to ask, well, I'm actually getting paid for this. You're supposed to be so humble and artistic that you'll accept anything, but of course I never was. But I think a lot of people are, and but I'm quite comfortable. I can't deny that. I'm certainly not poor, but I'm certainly not no threat to royalty at the moment.
Does your mother still take as close an interest as she did when I last spoke to you?
Yes, she certainly does. Yes, even closer, in fact. Yes, she's quite she's concerned in every way.
Is she still entirely supportive?
Absolutely entirely supportive, entirely, which is a great help. It's a great help.
Has that been essential, do you think?
Yes, it has. It has for me because I live with her mainly, and for that reason it helps. I mean, I think everybody ultimately needs some sense of reassurance from obviously the people who are close to them. So I think if she was disinterested or if she found the whole situation awkward, it would be quite hard.
Right. Your professed celibacy, no doubt, has been the subject of many letters from people. Have you had lots of advances?
Well, only handwritten advances, which of course are quite meaningless, really. I find that when I'm out and about, that people, quite regrettably, they approach, but they keep a particular distance. People are quite wary for some reason. They find it quite unbelievable. I think it's quite difficult for people to understand, especially me, I might add. But yes, I've had lots and lots of, not obviously, but absolutely cases and cases and cases full of letters from people saying, well, I'm here, come and get me. I'll be waiting tonight, I'll be lying on the settee covered in feathers, which is which is quite worrying when it comes from, the woman next door or something.
Right, okay. I think that's about it. What I wanted to ask, that's what I've got the notes for. Short and sweet.